With us today on VIP TV, 5-0 super welterweight or light middleweight, what old people like me call it. Paddy Lacey, footballer, boxer, Liverpool fan. He's everything, this fella. How are you, Paddy, anyway?
Dan, stay all good. Everything's good, mate.
Yeah, I know this might go out next week, this interview, but you're managing to give me 5 minutes before you go into the European Cup final to see Real Madrid lift it, I guess, are you?
So I've got to change flights. My little brother can't go play for Barnsley. I've got to change that. So my uncle's now jumped in his spot, so I'm non-stop off the phone. And then I'm training with Tonksy in the morning at 8. And then my bird's taking me and my uncle down to Birmingham to catch a flight to Amsterdam to get the train in the morning to Paris. Okay, now up the wall.
Oh, well, we can't talk about the match because it had been played by the time, but whatever happens, you have a good trip, mate. But how are you going to keep on the straight and narrow off the hour out there 3 weeks before you go to Liverpool Echo Arena or whatever the name of it is now? Huh?
It doesn't really bother me at the match. Probably feel like a pint more when we get beat Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? But when we're going to a European Cup final, you don't need the pint, do you? You're going to enjoy the result. Yeah. You want to soak it up.
Yeah, you do. A special night, but they win it every other year. So there you go. But sixth fight coming up, 17th of June at the Echo Arena. Lucky enough to have fought there twice now in your first 6 fights. Or is it twice?
Yeah. This was my second time, yeah.
Yeah, and what's it like boxing in there?
It's a lot better than the Olympia. You know what I mean? It's just a good setup. I don't know whether they'll do, because there's a fair few fighters on. I don't know whether they'll do like a press conference or whatever. But when you were on Eddie's shows, the whole procedure of the week, it's special, Steve, for a young novice like myself. Do you know what I mean? It's great. So hopefully it's the same. But there's that many lads on the bill. I don't know whether they'll do a press conference or whatever. I don't know how Wasserman, they haven't been in it long, have they?
No, but they're quite a big firm. They've got Callie and Nissa Sauerland behind them running it. And, Woody will tell you they're very PR savvy. So, I'm sure they're going to wheel you out, especially you have got a story to tell from all angles. So I'm sure they'll wheel you out and we'll hear lots from you over the internet and newspapers fight week. But 5-0, how's it gone so far as a professional? How would you gauge it?
Steve, it's been good, to be honest. We're going to have a little tinker with the weight and go to middleweight now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I was the one really pressing for to go to light middleweight, saying I could make the weight, which I could make the weight. Well, I've only made 157 twice. One was the same day weigh-in. Trying to think of the fights. But anyway, and because I'd sparred Beefy, Mason, Cartwright, top light middleweight, I was thinking, right, I can mix it with these sparring. If I can get down to light middle, I can do something. But it ain't the same Paddy Lacey getting in there once I've weighed in at light middle. And even my training took a little bit of a knock, really, Steve, because I'm constantly at a calorie deficit, reducing weight. And it was just it was too hard. It's not like I'm young, am I? I'm fucking 29 years old. So I think I went in a little bit blind. And to be fair to Tonksy, and people around me, they was like, Paddy, you're too big. Even Beefy said that after a spar when I said, I'm going to do light middle. He went, lad, you're well too big. So go to middleweight now, and hopefully I get my strength and feel a bit better when I'm getting in there.
Well, if 157 was a struggle, you'd always weight 154, but you're not going to be anything at 154, are you? You'll leave it all behind.
I've got no shoulders. Like I was looking at pictures from I've just been away on holiday from 2 years before the turn pro, and bloody hell, I'd lost all my physique. Do you know what I mean? I've got big legs anyway because the footy, but I'd lost all my kind of shape just training myself to make light middle. But we're living and we're learning on the go. So hopefully I feel a lot better. Well, I know I will, because I even just the training the past 2 weeks, after eating more, having 6 meals a day, I'm fucking feeling well better.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, though, you're discovering it after 5 fights. You better discover it now than after, say, 12, 13, 14 fights, and you've won a central area, or you're in the English title picture, and you've got to move up and start again. So it's not, although you say you're 29, it's not too late, is it? You're not a British champion suddenly realising he can't do it.
Yeah, of course. See, been a blessing really, Steve, because when I was in the amateurs, I was very strong and I was bowling them over. So I kind of relied on my strength. And since I went to light middle, I found in the boxing ring that my strength weren't there. So I've had to concentrate on my boxing skills, which have improved a hell of a lot. So there's all positive to take from any situation. So I'm happy with that. So,
yeah. Your first 5 fights have all been the distance. Do you expect now you're moving up to middleweight, you might start stopping a few? And I appreciate how hard it is to stop fighters at 4-round level, whether you're a middleweight who can punch or not, because these guys just know how to survive. But are you expecting to start stopping people now?
Especially now the rounds are going up, Steve, so they're going to 6 rounds now. So I can really put my foot on the gas now at middleweight. And if they go. But obviously, as long as I'm winning the rounds and getting the experience, I'm happy.
So what's the plan at middleweight? To have a few fights and then maybe in end of the year, start of next year, some sort of area title?
That's what I'd love, Steve. So it's down to Woodsy. So I just keep winning, and then as soon as you can maneuver me into a position when the time's right, say, Pad, do you want to go in for this one? That would be a dream come true for me, Steve. Do you know what I mean? I've started boxing at 23 years old. If I can, whatever I can put on my Mars mantelpiece next to me little brother's trophies, he'll be happy.
Yeah. What would be your realistic ambition as a professional boxer? I know everyone says they want to be world champion, and of course everyone is entitled to dream. But realistically, what do you think you can do at middleweight?
I honestly, Steve, I do believe, to hand on my heart now, I can go all the way. I can go all the way and go as far as a world title, win a world title. I'm learning every time I come back into the gym, or even when I spar, lads that I sparred 3-6 months ago, good pros that turn around and go, fuck me, lad, the improvements are you. Do you know what I mean? So, sky's the limit, to be honest to God. I know I can do something. Do you know what I mean?
And what's it like sparring with Beefy? I can imagine he can be, he's a relentless man, whether you're sparring, whether you're someone who's turning pro. He would spar with you the same way he would try and put it on Canelo or someone in a spar, I imagine.
He only knows one way, doesn't he? But Beefy, to be honest, the rounds I've done with Beefy, I only think I've sparred him 3 times, 3 6-rounders, I think. But I've learned more than them 3 6ers than I have in most of my fights and anything, because he's that elite and he's that well schooled that he picks up on things that other fighters don't. And people, they'll let you off with like they seem innocuous mistakes, don't when you spar him with certain lads, you don't even think of it, and he's on it. He's on it. If you do that same thing, I don't want to say what he did, and he kept touching me up. He'd spar every time. He'd watch me do this thing, and I'm thinking, fuck me, I need to change that. So hopefully when his next one, and I go back, and hopefully I've fixed that now.
I'll tell you what,
bloody knows.
He won't have it, but you're a much better footballer than him, I can tell you that.
I meg him. I play him sometimes on a Sunday morning. I fucking meg him.
Do you?
Yeah, he's a good player though. He's all right. Lacks a bit of pace, but he can play footy.
I tell you what, when you meg him, I bet he loses his shed, mate.
Do you know what? We've hit each other with a 50-50. I think it was the game before last, and we just got up smiling. He's fucking great. I look up to before I even boxed the Smith brothers. In this city, we're lucky, aren't we, with your Derrys, David Price, Tony Bellew. But I had a bit of affinity with the Smiths, because Paul Smith. So when I was a kid, he was in the Contender, and it was half my dad's mate. So I used to go around the school saying, "My dad's mate's in the Contender." Everyone was watching it, and then I just followed the lads everywhere. Then.
And now you're mates them, and you spar with Beefy.
Fucking mad! It's surreal.
So before we let you go, what's happening with the football next year? You still playing it? I mean, the boxing's taking over. You're moving up to 6 rounds. I'm guessing before next season ends, you could be boxing 10 rounds. What happens then with the football? What's happening with it?
Sadly, gonna have to retire. I think I'll be 30 and out, which I'll be gutted about. But still, it's difficult, because when you get round to saying a year's time and I am fighting for titles, God bless, everything goes well. How often are you fighting then, Steve? Twice a year. I've got to earn money from somewhere. I know all lads get good sponsors.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Sponsors. It's difficult for me to turn around and non-league. There's decent coin to be earned there. It's hard for anyone to say you're not allowed to do that no more. I know I could get an injury, but fucking hell, if the money's there and I can go and earn it, and it doesn't conflict with me boxing, well, obviously a month before a big fight, I wouldn't be touching the ball or going anywhere near it. But I still got to earn my money. I've got to pay me bills, because this boxing, you actually lose money.
I think too many people think you move up the British title level. I know this from speaking to fighters. You move up the British title level, they suddenly think you're swimming in money, don't they?
Exactly, yeah. And do you know what? I used to think that when I was probably 22 before I boxed. I don't know why that is. When you label the professional boxer and you're around that level, people just assume that, you know, you must be all right, but they don't take into account tax, paying your coach, paying your manager. So what I mean, everything after, what are you left with?
You might even have to pay something for a sparring partner if it's someone of a certain way. If you're boxing some super awkward person, you need someone in to replicate them, and they'll want 50 quid a round or something.
Yeah, most definitely, Steve. Yeah, it's another thing.
Oh, well, I'll let you go just to catch up before your next fight, and let's hope you get that first knockout when you box at the arena on the 17th of June, and hope you get a bit of a Channel 5 exposure.
Fingers crossed, Steve. That's the plan.
All right. Well, enjoy Paris this weekend. Let's hope Benzema don't take the piss too much, and
don't jinx it. Don't be calling it in already.
Have a great one, mate.
Nah, Steve. Thank you, mate.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.